Congratulations that you have completed successfully your first year. Today first let me introduce you the syllabus. In the first year you have studied 5 units and in the second year we are reading from the 6th unit. The 6th unit is the reproduction. In this reproduction we have got 4 chapters, that is reproduction in organisms, sexual reproduction in flowering plants, human reproduction and reproductive health. The total hours for teaching. So reproduction in organisms has 5 hours for teaching and it has got 5 marks weightage. Here the questions will be asked in bits 2 plus 3. Reproduction in flowering plants, it is for 10 hours, 8 marks weightage and the questions will be asked in the form of 3 plus 5. Our next chapter is human reproduction. It is of 9 hours topic and marks 7 will be asked in the form of 2 plus 5 bits. Now 4th chapter is reproductive health. It takes 5 hours for teaching and 5 marks. Now next unit is the genetics and evolution. So here we have got 3 chapters. The 5th chapter is principles of inheritance and variation. It has got 12 hours for teaching and 10 marks. So here the questions will be asked in the form of 2 plus 3 plus 5. The next chapter, 6th one, is the molecular basis of inheritance. It takes 12 hours for teaching and 10 marks. The questions will be asked in the form of 5 plus 5. So the 7th chapter is evolution. It is a 6-hour topic and the marks are 5 and questions will be asked in the form of 2 plus 3 or 1 plus 1 plus 3. And the next unit is biology in human welfare. So here also we have got 3 chapters. 8th chapter is human health and diseases. It takes 10 hours for teaching and marks weightage is 7. The questions will be asked in the form of 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. The next one, 9th chapter, is strategies for enhancement in food production. It takes 9 hours for teaching and it has got 8 marks. The questions will be asked in the form of 1 plus 2 plus 5. And the next chapter is microbes in human welfare. So it takes 6 hours for teaching and 6 marks weightage. The questions will be asked in the form of 1 plus 5. So here I wrote all the teaching hours and the marks, and here in the units just I wrote the total weightage for the unit. Like reproduction is having 25 marks, genetics and evolution is having 25 marks, and biology in human welfare has got 21 marks. Now let us go to the next. So the next unit is biotechnology. Biotechnology has got 2 chapters, biotechnology, principles and process. The teaching hours is 7 and marks 6. So it will be asked in the form of 1 plus 2 plus 3. The next 12th chapter is biotechnology and its application. So it takes 5 hours for teaching and marks will be 5. So the next unit is ecology. Here it has got 4 chapters in it. The 13th one is the organisms and population. It takes 7 hours for teaching and 6 marks weightage. So it will be asked in the form of 1 plus 2 plus 3. Next is ecosystem. Teaching hours 6.5 hours. Marks will be 6 and it will be asked in the form of 3 plus 3. 15th chapter is biodiversity and its conservation. Teaching hours is 3.5 hours. The marks weightage is 4 and it will be asked in the form of 2 plus 2. The next is environmental issues. It will take 7 hours for teaching and 6 marks weightage. It will be asked in the form of 1 plus 5. So the 9th unit has 11 mark weightage and 10th unit has 22 marks weightage. So total hours for teaching is 120 hours and total marks including all the choices it has got 105. So it includes all the choices. Sometimes little variation may occur. The solid questions which will be asked for 5 marks can be asked in bits like 2 plus 3, 1 plus 1 plus 3 or 1 plus 1 plus, like this it can be asked. So this is about the syllabus. Now let us go to the first chapter in the reproduction. So let me go to the reproduction in organisms. Now let me begin with reproduction in organisms. In the reproduction in organisms, first we will read about the introduction. That is little bit about the reproduction, and then types of reproduction. We go for types of reproduction. Then reproduction in plants and reproduction in animals. About this little detail we will deal in this session. Now let me go for the introduction. Now reproduction. Reproduction, it is just a continuation of the life. To define, so definition of the reproduction is, it is a biological process. You can say biological or physiological process. Physiological process where organisms produces their own kind. Organisms produces its own kind of progenies. So reproduction, it is a biological process where organisms produces their own copies. A dog produces dog, cat produces cat, hen produces hen. That means every organism produces its own copy, and this process is called reproduction. So reproduction, it ensures the continuation of species on the earth. It ensures. It is for the continuation of species on the earth. Continuation of species on the earth. Otherwise, the organisms would have become extinct on the earth. So it ensures continuation of species, and also it helps in the maintenance of the species. It will also help in the maintenance of the species. That is about the reproduction. Every organism, whether it is small or big, its important property is to reproduce. So that is about the reproduction. Now reproduction is classified into two types. That is types of reproduction. So first one is asexual reproduction. First one is asexual reproduction, and the second one is the sexual reproduction. So in the reproduction there are two types, sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Let us go one by one. So first let me go to the asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, it is a very simple type of reproduction. It is a very simple type of reproduction. So it includes only one parent. It is uniparental. Only one parent is involved in the reproduction. It is uniparental. Only one parent is involved in the reproduction, and it involves body cells, or you can say somatic cells. Somatic cells are involved. Somatic cells are also called as body cells. So somatic cells are involved in the reproduction. Somatic cells are involved. And here gamete formation and fusion is not there. So no gamete formation and fusion. No gamete formation. No gamete formation and fusion. As gametes are not formed, so it doesn't involve any variation. No variations are involved in the progenies. No variations. So hence, the progenies are the exact copies of the parent. As no variations are involved, progenies are exact copy. They are exact copy of their parent. Such progenies are called as clones. Such progenies are called as clone. So clone, by definition, we can define it as progenies which are morphologically and genetically similar to their parent. Similar to their parent are called as clones. And here, as it involves a simple mitotic cell division, the rate of reproduction is faster. Rate of reproduction. The rate of reproduction is faster. And this asexual method of reproduction occurs in lower organisms like in monerans, Monera, Protista, or even we can write Protozoa, and even in some fungi. So these are the characteristic features of the asexual reproduction. Till now, what did I say? I told about the definition of the reproduction. What do you mean by reproduction? It is a process. It is a biological process by which organisms produces its own copy, or you can say their own kind of progenies. Progenies are also called as offsprings. Progenies are also called as offsprings. Why do organisms reproduce? They reproduce to continue their species on the earth and also for the maintenance of the species. Suppose if the reproduction is not there on the earth, every organism will survive for its lifespan and then it would have become extinct, and it is not possible. You know that for the maintenance of the ecosystem, for the maintenance of the ecological balance, every organism will play its role. That is why every species is important in the ecosystem. For that, every organism reproduces. It is an important feature. In the reproduction, there are two types: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. These are the two types of reproductive methods by which all the organisms will reproduce. Now, we have discussed the characteristic features of asexual reproduction. It is a simple type of reproduction, simple mode of reproduction which involves only mitotic cell division. In the eukaryotic organism, we can say mitotic cell division as it has got a definite nucleus. In the prokaryotes, the genetic material is in the cytoplasm. So the progenies are formed amitotically. Simply, the organisms will grow and divide it into two cells or organisms. Now it is uniparental. Only one parent is involved in the reproduction. Somatic cells are involved, that is in the reproductive activity. In the reproduction, the body cells are involved. Body cells are also called as somatic cells. And here in the asexual reproduction, gamete formation and fusion is not there. You know, gametes are the reproductive cells which are formed by meiosis, and in the haploid organisms it is formed through the mitosis, which you have read in the first year. Now, as it is a simple method of reproduction and meiotic cell division is not involved, chromosomal exchange is also not there. So there is no variations in the progenies. There is no differences among the progenies. So as variations are not there in the progenies, that means it is not going to contribute for the evolution. There is no significance in the evolution. And the progenies which are produced through asexual reproductions are the exact copies of their parent. So such a progenies are called as clone. It is a very important term. So clone, it can be defined as the progenies which are morphologically and genetically similar to their parent. They are morphologically and genetically similar to their parent. Such progenies are called as clone. We can say variations in asexual reproduction when mutations occur. Unless mutations occur, we will not see any kind of variations in the progenies. Now, next is, as the reproduction method is very simple and the rate of reproduction is very fast. And such a kind of reproduction we will see in the lower organisms like Monera, Protista and fungi. Now let me go to the next method of reproduction, that is sexual method of reproduction. So sexual method, when you have little knowledge as you have studied the different phylum in the first year. Sexual mode of reproduction is little complicated compared to the asexual mode of reproduction, and it is responsible for the variation and will play a very important role in the evolution. Now let me go to the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction, it is a little complex. It is not simple, we can say. It is not so simple. Not so simple as that of the asexual reproduction. And here the germ cells are involved. We saw in the asexual reproduction, somatic cells are involved. So here germ cells are involved. Germ cells are involved. As germ cells are involved, gamete formation and fusion is there. So formation of gametes, formation and fusion of gametes is present. Formation and fusion of gametes is present. So here we will see both the type of cell division, like mitotic and meiotic cell division. Both type of cell division. Both types of cell division. Cell divisions are involved. So both the type of cell division you have studied in detail in the first year. What are those two types of cell division? Mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis, it is a equational cell division, and meiosis, it is a reductional cell division. Usually meiosis is formed, meiotic cell division will take place during the gamete formation. When once the gamete fuses to form the zygote will undergo through the mitotic cell division. Thus, in the sexual reproduction, you will see both the kind of cell division, that is mitotic cell division and meiotic cell division. And it is sexual reproduction may involve one or two parents. It may be uniparental. It may be uniparental or it may be biparental. So one or two parents are involved in the reproduction. It may be uniparental or biparental. So the progenies produced during sexual reproduction are not same as that of the parent. That is, variations are present. Variations occur or present, you can write. The progenies are not same. Progenies are not same as that of the parent, as that of their parent. That is, they are different. When compared with the parent, the progenies are different. So as variations are present, it will play a very important role or significant role in the evolution. Variations occur because of the presence of the meiotic cell division. As by your previous knowledge, you know that in the prophase 1 of meiosis 1, chromosomal exchange will take place, and that chromosomal exchange will result in the variations, which is a very important event. Now here the rate of reproduction is very slow, as it is a complex method, it takes time. So the rate of reproduction is slow. So these are some of the important characteristic features of sexual reproduction. And such a kind of reproduction we will see in higher animals, higher organisms. Let me write higher organisms. Like in the angiosperm you will see, and in higher phyla, right from the Coelenterata to the higher phyla, we will be able to see the sexual mode of reproduction. Now, every organism which is born on the earth, it is having a definite period for survival. It will survive on the earth for a definite period of time. That period of time is called as lifespan. Lifespan. So every organism will survive for a definite period of time. So lifespan, it include, we can define it as a time period from birth to natural death. Birth to natural death. It is called lifespan. By definition, we can define it as the time period between the birth to the natural death. It is called the lifespan. During this lifespan, that is from birth to natural death, the organism passes through different phases in their life cycle. Like after the birth, it will grow. That is growth period. The first one is the growth period. So in the animals, it is called as growth period, as animals will grow through the mitotic cell division, and in the plant, it is called as vegetative period. It is called vegetative period. After a certain period of growth, the organisms will gain the capacity of reproduction. So that second phase is called as reproductive phase. Reproductive phase, and it is marked in the animals by menstrual or estrous cycle, and in the plants by flowering. When the plants will give the flower, then we will say that plant is ready for the reproduction. When the animals will step in, or when the first menstruation or the estrous cycle will occur in the animal, then we will say that the animal body is ready for the reproduction. So second one is the reproductive phase, and the third one is the senescent phase. Senescent, or it is also called as aging process. So slowly the capacity of the organism, every capacity, the physical and physiological capacity of the organism, slowly it go on reducing as the organisms will become older and older. At the end, it will result in death. So this decrease in the capacity of reproduction is called as senescent or aging process. At the end, it results in death. At the end, it results in death. So these are the different phases which every organism passes through during its lifetime. So what did I told till now? We have discussed the characteristic features of sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction characteristics are That is, it is not so simple as that of the asexual reproduction. And here the germ cells are involved. Germ cells are the cells which involve in the formation of the gametes. And here the formation and fusion of gametes are present. And you know that gametes are the reproductive cells. And here both the type of cell divisions are present, mitosis and meiosis. I told meiosis is formed in the diploid organisms during the formation of the gametes, and mitosis is mitotic cell division we will see during the growth of a zygote. Zygote will undergo growth period through the, that is division or cleavage you can say, through the mitosis. The next feature is it may involve one or two parent. And here variations are present as meiotic cell division is there due to the exchange of the chromosomal material. And the progenies or the offsprings which are produced as a result of sexual reproduction are not same as that of the parent. The changes are seen in the progenies, which is a very important gift, you can say gift. Because of that only evolution resulted, that is improvement in the organisms is seen generation after generation. And rate of reproduction is slow. Here rate of reproduction is slow as it is a complex process. And this we will see in higher organisms. So every organism which is born will pass through, it will survive on the earth for a particular period of time, and that is called as lifespan. And during its lifespan, it passes through different phases in the life cycle. That is growth period, where simply organisms will grow and attain the maturity, and in the plants it is called as vegetative period. When once the organisms attain maturity and gain the capacity of reproduction, then we will say that it's stepped in the reproductive phase where its body is ready for the reproduction, which is a very important process on the earth. And then slowly the capacity, the strength of the body will go on decreasing, and that decreasing phase is called senescent or aging process. At the end, when the body capacity will decreases totally, the organism will die. That the organism's life will end in the death. Now we will see the lifespan of different organisms.